What's up, Hoopers? The Lakers are in trouble. I went live just this weekend with both the games against the Jazz and the Cavs, and I didn't like anything that I saw. Well, I take that back. They definitely start strong in the first half. This was something that I was beating into the audience all day long. Was they come out with this incredible effort. I'm going to show the shot charts. I'm going to show the stats. And they bring up a lead. First half looks great. And I kept saying, as long as they can mirror this in the second half, but the one thing that has been troublesome to the Lakers, continuing to shoot at a high click, and actually just shooting, period. How tired are you of seeing Anthony Davis shoot it 2 times in the second half? Or LeBron James have 22 in the first half and like 4 in the second half? And most importantly, all of a sudden we have Jesus or Russell Westbrook in the first half, and the second half he turns into Jesus. Sorry for everybody out there named Jesus. I love your name, by the way. But I talked about this, and this is a huge problem that the Lakers have. They're starting the game with all the energy, but they cannot finish a game. They do not step on the throats of their competitors, and they get their asses kicked in the second half. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down some of the biggest flaws that the Lakers have, how they can get out of it, and what kind of trade even makes sense right now for the Lakers so that they can get to the playoffs. Now, last season alone, they were a 33-win team, and they were one place out of getting into the play-in tournament. The craziest thing is 36 to 40 wins. You didn't even have to be in the play-in games last season for the West Conference. This year, with the Warriors being atrocious, the Clippers are atrocious, there's all these young teams, and I thought they were trying to tank for Vic, but obviously they're not. You got the Utah Jazz looking like the best team in the West right now, but this means that it is open. If change happens, the Lakers can easily get to that 35 to 40 win and at least be in a play-in game. Give me LeBron James in a play-in game. I'm pretty happy with that. So, what do the Lakers got to do to turn this thing around? They're now 2-7, and let's just be honest. They're one Matt Ryan shot away from being 1-8 this season. So, we are starting to see a really big fall off on the effort. I'm going to show some plays that show it, and we're starting to see a really big increase of this team not being very good. Let's just be honest. Oh, I'm your NBA white guy talking all things NBA hoops from a hooper's perspective. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go and do that dang thing, homie. All right, check this out. So in this game right here, I was actually live and I was talking about, where's the defense? What the heck is going on with the Lakers? Like all of these first 2-3 games, it was defense. And I told you guys this. I said, here's exactly what happens. I remember this in college, playing hoops my whole life. When you show all that energy, when you're not a great offensive team and you bring all that energy defensively, if you don't get dubs, you will lose your energy very quickly and the team will really start to fail. And that's what we're seeing. Now, I said this in the preseason. I said, look, we're showing all this effort in the preseason. Even though they're losing games, it's fine. Because if they can continue to do this in the regular season and get a couple victories playing this hard, they will be just fine. But they lost to the Portland Trailblazers. But they lost to the Clippers early on. Those were games they should have had. That completely changed the entire season. If they would have won those 2 games with that hustle, I think the Lakers, honestly, right now, would at least be 4-5 or if not 5-4. And look at the West. I mean, they'd be up in the top 5 spots right now. So it would be a completely different season. It didn't happen. Here's exactly what's happening. Now, I noticed this, and it got even worse in the second half, but the first half, my goodness. So what we're going to see is Donovan Mitchell bringing the ball up. This Cavs team is straight scary. With Karis LeVert, Garland, and Mitchell, who are walking buckets, and then you got like 16 big dudes. Yeah, watch out. This team is going to go really deep in the West or in the East, so I am loving them. But this is the kind of hustle stuff that the first 2, 3, 4 games, the Lakers were not having it, and AD was an absolute monster at the rim. So what are you supposed to do when the other team's bringing the ball down, right? You're supposed to be in your defensive position, and you're supposed to be watching the ball. If anything, you point at your man and you point at the ball, so you always know where everybody is. Let's see what happens. When we play this, we got Donovan Mitchell bringing the ball down. If we stop it, right, this happened the entire game. He's not that big. Okay, he did this all game long against Anthony Davis. He did this all game long against Wenyen Gabriel. He did it against everybody. He got to the paint and got his shot. The other thing that the Lakers did atrocious, and they never rebounded. You can see every Cav player, look at them. They're in sprinting mode to get the rebound. Every single time the Lakers shot it, they sit there and they look at it. What in the hell are you doing? If I'm Coach Darvin Ham, I am cussing their asses out. I don't care. LeBron, AD, you name it. I'm setting an example because my coaching job is on the line because you guys don't hustle. Now, the big thing I want to show you is what you probably all missed. If we go back, okay, I'm going to just go forward a little bit here. This is when Mitchell's bringing the ball up, okay? You're supposed to point at the ball and at your man. So right now, we got Westbrook up here kind of just like, I don't know, looking at some chick. We got AD. He's like, okay, where's the screens? I need to watch that. I don't need to pay attention to the ball. Yep, I'll just keep watching, I'll protect the consent. I think he's looking at the ref or this chick. I don't know who he's looking at. You're a rim protector, bro. So that means you've got to be pointing at your man, pointing at the ball, and you've got to be open. You never have your back to the ball. This is basic 101. But you know what this tells me? Effort. They just don't care anymore. You got Juan Toscano. He should already be in the paint, shutting this off, right? Anthony Davis, you've got to be 1 foot in the paint, 1 foot out, at least looking at the ball. What happens? Oh, shoot. He's already in there, right? Juan Toscano does exactly what you're taught to do. Stop the ball. But what happens? Okay, he does his Euro step, and they keep going back with him. That's where you create your wall. That's where you get your charge. You stand in front, you get straight up with them, and then you at least cause them to do some kind of floater at the elbow, not get within 2 feet. Anthony Davis still hasn't even done anything, and he does kind of get underneath there, but if you see he's walking, you already got Cedi Osman. He's going to box out AD. If they miss this, they're getting the rebound, right? So that's a huge issue that the Lakers doing every single possession is that they're not on help side defense. They're not rim protecting. And oh my gosh, they are not rebounding to save their life. I don't care what the box score says. The Lakers actually had just about as many rebounds as the Cavaliers. But the big thing that I noticed, the Cavs, when I was live yesterday in the second half, they had 3 possessions in a row where they got offensive rebounds and made the shot. So anytime the Lakers even went on a run, would score 3 points in a row, 4, 6, 8 points, the Cavs would come right down, get that offensive rebound, and go back up. It is an absolute momentum killer. And I'm telling you right now, if I am Coach Ham, I'm probably going to send a message to these dudes, and I'm sitting all their asses. Just like the end of the game when he put in the bench players with like 3 minutes left and they got the game all the way back to 8 points from like 20 points down. It's because they hustle. This is why I've been stressing it for the past 5 months. Young teams are the most dangerous teams to play because they have no care in the world. They have nothing to lose, and they're going to give you 150% every night. Stars that get paid, you start to see them start to slip a little bit. Now, lastly, one thing that I talked about all the time, and LeBron's not in right now, but he is the king of doing this, and I love me some LeBron. But when things don't go good, what does he do? He points fingers at people, right? He slams the ball. He gets mad. And that's what causes them to be even more lazy. They just want to point blame. Look at the end of this play now. Okay, so Mitchell gets in, Euro step, great finish. Watch old Westbrook right here. He's going to throw a fit, even though he ain't in there helping. Now, I do realize you've got to stay out there. Kevin Love's that's not K-Love. I can't remember who that is up top. He's a great three-point shooter. All of them are, except for the Lakers team. But watch what he does. What? Who's on defense? You are, homie. So that's what you're starting to see is a lot of blame. So this is the next thing that I saw all game long. They do not move. Now, Matt Ryan is in the game right now, and this is a bad example because Westbrook's on a fast break, bringing the ball down. And I do realize the Lakers had a lead right now because they just couldn't miss a shot, which is great. But it's the second half. This is 2 games in a row that Westbrook has had at least, 15 to 20 points in the first half, and he scores like negative 30 in the second half. So he comes out flat. The whole Lakers squad does. They have way more energy at the beginning. They had the lead in the first half, but they just can't maintain it. So they do not move at all. They literally stand still. And the only reason Wenyen Gabriel is moving is because he just got down there and he's going to move to get out of the way. But nobody cares about Wenyen Gabriel. And here, one thing I'm tired about Wenyen, he's got great hustle. And I talked about this in my live yesterday. He gets the ball within a foot or two of the hoop, and he jumps up and he does all this crap to try and not get blocked. Go up and shoot that freaking ball or dunk that ball. I don't care if you get it blocked. They're not going to take your birthday away. But you doing all this crap and the shifty thing, you keep missing every freaking layup, dude. You got like a 17-foot wingspan. So don't go up and shift your ball, man. Just go up and dunk it. If they block it, they block it. So I'm sorry, Wenyan. I'm on your ass, but that is just, I can't take it no more. Okay, so here is that scene I'm talking about. This is Westbrook coming in. Obviously, everybody's standing. If you look, the only reason that Wenyan Gabriel's coming down here is because he was, like I mentioned, he's just coming down. But if you notice, everybody's going to be standing. So Westbrook tries to do one attempt. Remember I was telling you, hey, you got to stop the ball, get in front, and keep your ground. That's what the Cavs were doing, right? They got two guys here blocking the drive, and they'll keep the other guys open. So what happens? That stops Westbrook. He comes back. He goes back in. If you notice the whole time, dead still. It's almost like I had it on pause, right? Hands on knees, stand still, stand still, stand still. Wenyan Gabriel's like, oh, I guess I'll stand here. They don't move, right? If this offense is moving and cutting and pass, you're going to see wide open lanes, right? And this is what they do good when they go on runs is they actually move, they cut. But as you see here, he goes in and loses this. I don't even know what he was doing, but nobody moving around, everybody standing still. This is also when they do shoot it from outside and they get a shot, everybody will stay in that position too, and they will not run to the glass for any kind of rebounds. So those are the big, big killers that I'm seeing with the Lakers right now. It's just all standing still on offense. And this is why in today's age of the NBA, you got to have some shooters, some knockdown shooters. So what does that mean for the Lakers? That means the Lakers have got to blow this thing up. And it's not because we absolutely need shooting, because we do. It is 100% right here. This team's done. They're tired of playing with each other. It is ups and downs. I'm sure that locker room is just kind of like, if you noticed last night towards the end of the game, they yanked all the subs out. There was LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the end of the bench with 3 minutes left in the game, and they were like this. Man, I'm sick. Is it Taco Tuesday yet, man? I don't even want to be here. I need some wine. I need some Lobos tequila. They weren't even watching the game, homies. They were literally sitting at the end of the bench just pouting. I'm telling you, I've been in locker rooms my whole life and all through college, and whenever we go on these losing streaks, you start pointing fingers. You don't even want to be there. It is a miserable time. So there needs to be change in that locker room just because of that. If you bring in new people, it's going to re-spark everybody, right? And positions could be had. So it's going to re-spark this energy levels. And obviously, Pat Bev wasn't playing in yesterday's game, but yes, he's a great pest. He's a great nuisance, but it's not leading to victories, right? It all boils down to LeBron James's effort. If he goes out there and he plays as hard as he can, then everybody else is going to watch that. The last few games, he's really started to dip down. And what in the hell is going on with his shot? He literally is airballing shots that he never airballs, and everything's up to the front of the rim. I'm wondering what's up with our homie. Is he lose a little bit of muscle or something over the season? I don't know what's going on. This opens up the trade, and I need all of your help. Before I get to that, though, if you're loving the NBA White Guy and what I talk about and how I break down the NBA and especially the Lakers, hit that like button right now and make sure you subscribe. That brings down my next point. What do the Lakers really need to do? Now, you've got to be able to bring in shooters. I get that. But if you bring in high-dollar, high-paid shooters, they may not have that defensive hustle, right? You got to get the well-rounded players. This is why I'm leaning more towards a player. Man, how good would it have been to somehow get Lauri Markkanen from the Utah Jazz? That dude is going to be an all-star. He's like Luka, but a better shooter. Taller. That dude is special. Them Jazz, I know they want to tank for Vic, but they ain't gonna. That team could honestly be one of the top contenders in the West. Like, they are playing hard, and this is why everybody was like ragging on Conley, and I don't want Conley. We have these guards. I'm like, you guys don't get it. Conley is a knockdown shooter. He's a vet, and he's got this tough presence, and you watched him with the Jazz lead and orchestrate that offense, man. He is dangerous out there. So that team's going to be very good. And I think, obviously, if they're still willing to deal, obviously, Danny Ainge is always looking to deal. I don't know if he really wants to with the Lakers. I always hear that the Spurs don't want to deal with the Lakers, but you got to go out and get not only these players who can shoot, but who can play defense. Bogdanovich, they should have done everything to get him. Now the freaking Detroit Pistons locked him up for 2 years extra because he's that good. He's shooting like 60% from behind the arc. It's like 18 for 30 this season, and he's 85% from the corner. So all these shooters were available, and they're great like team players, right? These are not players like a Bogdanovich is not like this all-star who needs all this attention. He's going to go out there, he's going to play his freaking ass off, and he's going to shoot the lights out, right? I was really hoping for a player like that. Also, you got players like that on the Spurs right now with Doug McDermott, Josh Richardson. They're shooting, both of them, 40+% from the three. They play tough defense. The Spurs are actually looking not too bad. Obviously, they're not winning too many games, but they're not playing McDermott. They're not playing Richardson a lot of minutes. They're really trying to play, some of these younger cats and probably just tank for Vic. So I want you guys to post down below right now. Who would you love to see the Lakers go get? Who could really turn this Lakers team around? And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing, homie? Go down there and hit that subscribe button and make sure you dunk that like button. All right, now check out this video. It's probably the best video you've ever seen in your life. And until my next video, homie, we'll catch you later.